Hello everyone, welcome back to more Bridgemaster. We're doing the expert stuff today. We're getting near the end of the A's. Starting on A-23, having finished A-22 in the last video. I'm going to try to do 7 of them, ending with A-29. Let's see. 3 clubs by East and then 3 no. West apparently having no clubs. That seems important. Let's just follow suit while West cashes, I assume, 4 spades. Looking that way. East pitches a club. Well, this looks like we're going to have to play a crisscross squeeze in clubs and diamonds. If I pitch a diamond here, I basically have no hope, right? There's no way this club is coming in. East definitely has the king and plenty of clubs. And a heart is just throwing away a winner. So we pitch a club here. And we keep track of what East has pitched. It's been 2 clubs, right? Because West played 4 spades, I played 4 spades, Donnie played 3, East must have played 2, and all his pitches were clubs. So he has 5 clubs remaining. That's important. We now can't cash either of these minor suit aces. We have to play on the hearts first, preserving both aces as entries for when East gets squeezed. We need him to have the king of clubs, which we already believe he has, as well as the queen of diamonds, which he could have, you know. It's our only hope, so we might as well play for it. East has now pitched 3 clubs, and since we're assuming he started with 7, that means he has 4 left. 3 clubs remain. 2 clubs remain. So, given that we know East has 2 clubs, ace of clubs, then a diamond, cash the queen of clubs can't possibly work. So we might as well hope that the queen of diamonds is now falling. And indeed it is. Look at that. If this is what's called a crisscross squeeze, when you have in both threat suits you have an entry in the other hand only. So here the jack of diamonds is a threat. Our only diamond entry is in the south hand. The queen of clubs is a threat. Our only entry is in the north hand. In a crisscross squeeze, you can't afford to cash either of the winners. You have to have at least one winner left in each of those suits. Which means you will have to know the opponent's distribution, or at least guess it well. Here, the spades and hearts give us and the preempt give us a very good count on the East hand, so we're not really in any danger of getting things wrong. But notice, like, when we cashed that last heart, we were coming down to a 3-card end position, right? North had the ace of clubs and jack x of diamonds. South had the ace of diamonds and queen x of clubs. What 3 cards is East supposed to come down to? He has to keep king x to stop me from playing ace of clubs club. But he also has to keep queen x of diamonds, stopping me from playing ace of diamonds diamond. He can't do both of those and have 3 cards, so he has to discard make one of them singleton. Assuming we can read his hand correctly, which at least here is easy, we cash the ace that drops the honor and then use the entry in the other suit to cross back to it. Okay, the opponents are competing heavily in hearts. No particular inferences about which one of them has more. Probably the suit of 6-5. Probably East has 6. West has 5, but unlikely to matter much. This, I mean, If the clubs are not 5-1, i.e. if they are 4-2 or better, then don't we, like, just get to run all the clubs pitching diamonds. The issue is making sure we can get to them, right? And I think we're like sort of happy to concede a spade to arrange for that to happen. So obviously we have to hang on to the 2. It's our only entry dummy. I think we play the jack of spades now. If they win it, I'm not unhappy. Right? The suit was 3-0. No, was it 4-0? It was 4-0. Well, that sucks. Was I not supposed to lose a spade yet? Oh, hang on. Yeah, I guess that's true. Can I... Well, if I play the ace first and then try to lose one, it's similarly good, right? No, hang on. Can't do that yet. Undo. Undo. I have to now cash the clubs so that they're not blocked. And then lose a spade, so that if they let me in with a spade, the clubs are winning. I don't feel great about how I played this. Those were both sloppy plays. I didn't really think about spades being 4-0 at all, but you're like definitely supposed to think about that in Bridgemaster and in real life. Because if the suit is 4-0, you're never going to get to enjoy the clubs. And if it's 4-0 in the East, you can at least finesse twice against East, and then you have to hope that diamonds are 3-2. Basically. You cash the ace first to confirm that isn't what's happening. Then you unblock clubs so that when you duck a spade, they have to let you into dummy while you can enjoy the clubs. Okay, 4 hearts. I don't have that many tricks, huh? 3 side suit tricks. Well, 4 counting the king of diamonds. 4 side suit tricks means we're going to need 6 trump tricks, yeah? And that's assuming the king of diamonds lives, which it probably will. So is this not just another elopement hand where we ruff with all the little hearts? We had one of those not too long ago, I feel like. Rude. But I don't overruff here, right? Maybe I do. I don't know. If I pitch a spade, like I was losing the spade anyway, what's the harm? The issue is I still need to win all my low hearts, and I can't really do that, right? Well, wait, do I need to... Did I miscount somewhere? I didn't. I need 6 heart tricks. But maybe that doesn't mean I have to actually ruff here. What if East has 4 hearts? Then, by pitching a spade, I can take 4 heart tricks. Or 6 heart tricks. But by over-ruffing... I would still be losing a heart, a club, and a spade in addition to what I already lost. Right? Like, let's say East has 7, 8, 9, 10 of hearts. West has stiff jack. It doesn't matter how they're distributed, but just... If I overruff here, I still have to lose a heart to East, because Ace-King will leave him with one left. I lose a heart. Then, I can pitch one spade on the diamond, but I still have to lose another spade and a club. So overruffing here loses anytime hearts are 4-1. But is it good if hearts are 3-2? I don't think so. We still just pitch a spade, and if hearts are 3-2, we lose no more tricks. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to win this trick. And am I crazy? I kind of want to lead another diamond. And if East roughs again, pitch a spade. Because if I just, like, play hearts... And it turns out... Actually, no, that's probably wrong. Is it, though? If East roughs and I pitch a spade, then I'm, like, guaranteed losing only those 2 hearts. Yeah. I think a heart is also fine, but maybe it's not. Whereas I just can't see anything wrong with a diamond. Unless, like, West has a singleton spade, I guess? Ace, king, queen. If there's a heart left, I don't... Do I care? Well, East just won't rough if I play a diamond, right? If the same player has all 4 remaining hearts, what am I supposed to do about that? I guess we're losing a diamond here to rectify the count for a minor suit squeeze, maybe? Against West? That's a way I could avoid losing all the tricks, even if all the hearts are in the same hand. So let's do that. Let's lose a diamond. Or, well, play a diamond. East roughs. I'm still not over-roughing. If West can rough a spade, it's a little embarrassing, but I don't think he can. And now... There are only 3 trump out there, right? Just draw them all with the ace, king, queen. And then pitch my club, finally, on the king of diamonds. But why did East rough? I mean, I guess it was free. Why not? But why was it important for me to lead a diamond? Could I have gotten away with leading a heart? Let's see if Fred mentions. Whoops, previous deal. Oh, gosh. Now show solution. It's going to show up as a... No, it still shows up as completed. Okay. Long trump breaks 3-2. Yeah, don't play the king of diamonds. East might be able to rough it. Low diamond, East roughs. If you over rough, you risk losing trumps. So pitch a loser. If East follows, then sure, rough. And then you can try to rough out the diamonds. Yes. Huh. He doesn't even mention what happened the second time. But sure. I feel like roughing a diamond is slightly better than playing a heart. Because if East roughs, we're rectifying the count. And if East doesn't rough, we're still sort of happy? I don't know. Anyway, next deal. I already forgot. How high did I say I was going? 28? Last one I did ended at 22. Trying to do 7 more. 29? No. Yeah, 23 to 29. Yes, 29 will be the last one. Okay. We're in 6 no trump after East bids 3 hearts, and West doubled the 4 diamonds for the lead. So we can assume West has like King, Queen, Jack, 10. Or at least King, Queen, Jack. Plus this lead suggests that as well. We definitely have 7 club tricks, no matter how bad that suit splits. 8, 9, 10, 11 tricks. Oh, look at this. Do we get to play a double squeeze? I think so. Yeah. They've set this up very explicitly for me. West is the only player guarding diamonds. We assume. Like, even if he only has King, Queen, Jack, surely he has a 4th card, right? Even if it isn't the 10. Which means that if I duck a diamond, he'll be the only one protecting diamonds from running. East surely has the King, Queen of hearts. Because if your partner had overcalled hearts and you had the King or Queen, you'd be leading those for sure. So even if East might have overcalled without the King, Queen, without having both of the King, Queen, West would have led one in that case. So we're pretty sure East has the King, Queen of hearts. Yeah. So we duck this diamond, rectifying the count for the squeeze, and win the spade return. What type of double squeeze is this? So I mentioned actually squeeze books a few videos ago. Maybe last video? I don't know. It depends on... I don't know. I'm not recording these necessarily in the same order you're watching them. What am I saying? I mentioned squeezes. And I said Bridge Squeezes Complete is the definitive book on squeezes, if you don't mind reading something from 1959. And while that is true, it is not the first book on squeezes I read to help me understand the basic idea. The book that I started with was a much shorter book called A Bridge to Simple Squeezes. And that might be... I thought it was great. It introduced concepts very clearly, and I could follow along. Except for one thing, I didn't quite follow what it meant by threat at the time. But anyway, it was one of the earliest... I write in very few books. In textbooks in school, I never wrote in them or highlighted anything. I have, a tendency to treat them as like sacred texts, right? But in this book, I did write in it to do the exercises. I don't know why I felt this was important. Just thought I would share. A Bridge to Simple Squeezes, good book. It doesn't cover double squeezes, because those aren't simple squeezes. Or at least I don't think it does. I don't remember. Bridge Squeezes Complete certainly does. That's probably like chapter 2 or 3. But Bridge Squeezes Complete categorizes double squeezes in various ways. Well, squeezes in various ways, and double squeezes in one way in particular. So a double squeeze is kind of 2 squeezes happening at the same time. My plan here is to squeeze West in diamonds and spades. He won't be able to keep the diamond card he needs. I guess it'll just be 1 diamond to stop the 4 of diamonds from being a winner, while also keeping 2 spades. So he'll pitch down to 1 spade to keep the diamond. Meanwhile, I'll be squeezing East in hearts and spades. He won't be able to keep the 2 hearts he needs, or I guess 1, given how I'm going to play things, while also keeping 2 spades. So he'll also have to pitch down to a singleton spade to keep the heart winner, and then I'll win the king of spades and then the 2 of spades. That's the idea. Bridge Squeezes Complete categorizes double squeezes by asking first which player will hold the squeeze card, i.e. the last winner you play that isn't in one of the threat suits. Here, that'll be North, so we'll be viewing this hand from North's perspective. Okay, East followed to diamond. Good to know. West, therefore, has only the queen and jack remaining. North has the squeeze card. And therefore must have, for a double squeeze, exactly one of the other two threats. Of the three threats, I should say. So here we have a threat potentially in diamonds here, hearts here, and spades here. But three threats in one hand just doesn't work. There's no... I mean, it can for different squeezes, but not for a double squeeze. So we're going to use the 4 of diamonds as a threat and throw away these diamonds. They're just as good. West only has the queen and jack. The 4 is just as good compared to those as the 9 is. So we're viewing the squeeze from North's perspective, and the one squeeze card that North has is the diamond threat. So Clyde Love from Bridge Squeezes Complete would call this a Type R double squeeze. North is the hand we're viewing this from the perspective of, and the threat that North has is the R threat, i.e. the threat guarded by the right-hand opponent. You don't really have to pay much attention to any of the discards here, by the way. You just have to watch for the last 2 diamonds and the King Queen of Hearts, which I would have trouble missing, frankly. There's a diamond. There's 1 heart. So at this point, both of them are just teetering on the brink of extinction, right? When I lead the club, East, who has remaining the King of Hearts and 2 clubs, will say, well, I can't pitch the King of Hearts, or Declare would just pitch a spade and win the remainder. So he's going to pitch a spade. At that point, my Jack of Hearts is useless, so I might as well throw it away. West then faces a similar problem. If he pitches a diamond, then I can win the 4 in hand. If he pitches a spade, I can win the 2 in dummy. So the 2 defenders are both being squeezed on the same trick. Love's advice for Type R double squeezes is that you can afford to cash L winners early, and you might as well. And so in that case, that's what? Hearts? Yes. I think you usually should. Anyway, doesn't matter. East predictably doesn't pitch the heart, so he pitches a spade. West also pitches a spade. And miracle of miracles, we managed to win 3 spade tricks from a holding of Ace-King 2 opposite 4-3. We forced the opponents to discard all of those other useful spades. Would the squeeze work if we hadn't cashed the Ace of Hearts? No, right? East would still be squeezed, but West could pitch a heart, keeping spades and clubs. Spades and diamonds. And then when I cashed the heart, he could unguard diamonds because I couldn't get back to the diamond in my hand. So you can and usually should cash L winners early in a Type R double squeeze. I don't really remember the advice for all of them. I remember Type L double squeezes just don't work, so you don't have to worry about how to play those. And then there's Type B1 and B2 for depending on how many winners the opposite hand has in the Type B threat suit. It's just like, ugh. I remember the Type B1 is like RFL. You have to cash things in a very particular order. First righty's suit, then lefty's suit, then the suit that nobody's guarding. And that's how you squeeze them. And if you have extra winners, you can somehow do something else. I don't remember. Just B1 squeezes are very fragile, and B2 squeezes are very easy. You can do anything you want. Anyway, we're in 6 no trump now. This looks like an elimination, right? We want to lead a heart to the 9, forcing West to win and return something something that's going to ruin him. We have to be careful of entries, though, because if we take a heart finesse to the 9 and West returns a spade, we have to be able to win the jack, then win the king, then get to dummy to win the ace. So we're going to have a diamond winner left. Is there any situation where we could need a club winner? I don't think there is. So let's cash all the clubs. And then all but one of the diamonds. Okay, West has 4 clubs. I don't think I care about that, but good to know, I guess. Okay, good. West doesn't have 4 diamonds, so if we cash 3 of them, he's out. And we now play a heart to the 9. Spade comes back, but we can win king, jack, ace of hearts, and cross the dummy and diamonds, which is good. This this heart holding of ace queen 9 is one that comes up a lot in problems and real life, honestly. It's sort of like, if you can afford to lose a trick to end play somebody, it seems like you should need ace queen 10. The idea being lead low to the 10, and if West wins the jack, then he'll have to lead away from the king, right? But it turns out actually the 9 is good enough, because you don't care what West wins with, as long as you can make sure West wins. So low to the 9, and West wins the jack, for example. Why isn't the 8 good enough? Because I feel like I talked about this in a different video in this series, but because then when you lead the 2, East might have 10 and 9, and could put in the 10, so you can't really make sure to lose a trick to West anymore that way. Anyway, so this ace queen 9 is a holding that should scream, try to use me to force West to lead this suit again. Oh, did we make it? Is this the last one? 22 to 28? I think so. 23 to 29, isn't it? It's 23 to 29. Okay. This and one more. We're going pretty fast. Pretty fast. West has bid 2 diamonds. It seems quite dangerous to duck this trick, does it not? West might very well have 6 diamonds and just give East a rough. We have 6 spades, 3 hearts is 9, and 2 aces is 11. We need one more trick. Huh. It looks like we should be trying to end play West, but there's no obvious way to do that, is there? Or is this just another delayed duck squeeze? I forget if I actually played one of those. Oh, I played one of those, but it was wrong. That's right. I think in the World Class edition. One of the World Class problems. I'm not even sure it works here, though, because I don't have a re-entry to the diamonds, right? Is it just like a vanilla end play? We just, like, cash everything and then... Well, no. I guess it's a strip squeeze, right? We make West throw away his spare diamond winners so that he only has 1 left, and then we exit a diamond. We kind of require that West has 6 diamonds, because if East has 2, I think we're kind of dead, right? So we win this, play some trumps. Opponents are now out. And by the way, West has pitched 3 diamonds already. I was paying it. Okay, actually, I'm going to double check. I wasn't paying enough attention. I think it was 3. But maybe one of the early ones was a heart. No. Diamond. 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 Yes. That's very important. We have to keep track of how many diamonds West has. Having now done this, this is the moment. We can't afford to play another trump. We have to cash hearts and then still be able to play all the spades. And I can't afford to use the ace of clubs as an entry because I need that to end play West. So we have to play the hearts now. pitching a diamond, of course, and get back to spades. West has pitched 3 diamonds, 1 club, and a heart. And this last one, you know what? Hang on. Well, this is fine. This last one should break him, right? Because he's played... No, wait, what? He's played 4 diamonds. So he has 2 left. Yeah, this is right. When I play the last spade, he's going to have to come down to 3 cards. King X of clubs, we assume. And we assume that because in the auction, 2 diamonds shows some strength. You can't really do that if all you have is, like, some decent diamonds. You need a little bit more. I mean, obviously, no one's going to stop you, but it's not how people agree to bid. Anyway, he now pitches the last diamond, so we exit to the queen of diamonds, which he's known to hold. And he doesn't have any more diamonds, so he has to play a club. And even though the club finesse was losing, we managed to lose no club tricks. Poor East, what a hand, huh? Yeah, see, this is about the worst hand you could have to bid 2 diamonds. I mean, the diamonds don't have to be this good, but like something about like this to bid 2 diamonds. You don't expect a holding like this and then not the king of clubs. Yuck. There are some people who would do it, but I don't know. They're wrong. Anyway, next deal. And this is the last one for this video. 6 no trump. Opponents were silent, right? Yeah, they didn't really have a chance to bid, so we can't draw much inference here. So we have 4 diamonds and 3 spades is 7. Sorry, 4 hearts and 3 spades is 7. 3 more diamonds is 10, and a club is 11. There are 2 potential sources of additional tricks, clubs and spades. Obviously, we can't set up clubs by themselves. They could only produce a trick via a squeeze, and the same is true of spades. So this hand can't be anything but a club spade squeeze. However, you have to... I haven't yet thought through the details of how it's going to work. The natural inclination is to duck a club now, because we have to lose a trick anyway. Well, if opponents were very considerate, they might let us win this club, and then I could lose a spade. And then, oh, look at that, the spades would be good if they were 4-3. But of course, after winning the spade, they would cash a couple clubs and laugh at me. So we can't actually do that. So the question is, if can I afford to lose a club here? Or do I have to win this and play a 2-loser squeeze instead of the simpler 1-loser squeeze? Good news, by the way, if West is leading the king of clubs against 6 no trump, he probably does have the king, queen, jack. You don't want to do that holding just the king, queen. So we already know West is the only one protecting against the 10 of clubs being a winner. If he also has 4 heart spades, then the squeeze works, right? And I think I can duck this, right? He'll switch to a spade. Ah, that's the reason I can't do that? Because South necessarily will hold the squeeze card, right? The last red suit winner here. When we're squeezing in the black suits, the red suits are the free suits, the suits that'll have the squeeze card, the last non-threat winner. And I'm going to need to be able to get back to dummy after playing the squeeze card. And if I duck a club here, I won't be able to. right? West will switch to a spade, and there goes my dummy entry. Of course, I still have the ace of diamonds, but I won't have it when I'm done cashing the red cards, which I will have to do. So, you can't afford to duck a club here, assuming the defenders are well versed in defending against squeezes. A weak West might continue with the queen of clubs here, but we're not going to count on that at the expert level of Bridgemaster play. Instead, we have to play a two-loser squeeze and just hope we can figure out what West's shape is. So, win the ace. Mostly this involves finding out who has the 9 of clubs and or how many spades West has. Either of those pieces of information would be sufficient, I think. West has only a single diamond. Good news, since we want him to have like 4 clubs and 4 spades, we want him to be short in the other stuff. Sorry, only a single heart. And East has 5 hearts. Okay. I can certainly pitch one. What did he... I already forgot. What did he pitch on the last trick? Diamonds. He's pitched nothing but diamonds. Okay. So West has pitched 3 diamonds on my 4 heart winners. There goes the 9 of clubs. Okay, good. Now we're quite sure. West had 1 heart, 3 diamonds, 4 clubs, and apparently 5 spades. Okay. Unless I'm confused and West actually pitched on the first spade? It doesn't matter. The suit I'm going to be counting is clubs, so whatever's going on in spades will sort itself out. I'm just watching for the last 2 clubs that can beat the 5. That wasn't one of them. That was... Wait, did I make a mistake? Oh no, I got so like... I just started playing a 1-loser squeeze, but I have 2 losers. I think I got lost. Because I'm just dead now, right? West has a club and 4 spades. There's nothing I can do. Start over. Yeah, I don't think there's any universe where I can duck this club. I thought the point was... Like, what 2-loser squeeze am I playing here? It's a delayed duck squeeze, right? But doesn't that mean I need an entry back to the hand with 2 clubs? Maybe it works a little better if I don't pitch from clubs from dummies so soon, because I actually need those. I need 2 of those. Ditch the ace of diamonds so I can just keep playing diamonds. Now, West is down to only 2 clubs, right? Yes, this is better. I needed to preserve both of Dummy's clubs. I was thinking of these as the relevant threat card. I forgot I was playing a 2-loser squeeze, basically. Now, West is down to only a single club. So we don't need the spade card anymore. It's not necessary. We just play a club. West doesn't have any more tricks to cash. He just has to put us back in dummy with a spade. And now we can play clubs. So this is called a delayed duck squeeze because it's basically the same squeeze the squeeze I wanted to play, the simple squeeze, was just duck a club, squeeze West in the black suits. But I can't do that because if I try, I'll lose my entry to the spades. So we do the same thing, delaying the duck until later, when West is already squeezed. You can't always do this. Generally speaking, you can do it if the suit that you are... If the suit you're not trying to duck in, you have to have the top card in that suit. And ducking in your suit you must still have an entry back to an established winner in the other suit, the suit you're trying to duck. So let's see how well Fred explains it. I don't know if he'll explain the generalities or just like how it applies on this hand. There are 11 tricks. Someone might have 4 spades and a stiff club. 4 spades and a stiff club? Oh, so you could play 4 rounds of spades, and then they couldn't continue. Yeah, that doesn't seem that likely. Or squeeze West if West is long in spades and clubs. Can't duck the opening lead to rectify the count, because West will switch to spades, as I said, and you're toast. Oh yeah, some people call this squeezing without the count. I don't like it very much. It's just a 2-loser squeeze. There are squeezes that work... The most common squeezes work with one loser. There are squeezes that work with exactly 2. There are squeezes that work with exactly 3. There are squeezes that work with 2 or more. There are squeezes that work with 3 or more. You know, those aren't very common. But squeezing without the count, I just don't like it because it's not specific enough. This is a 2-loser squeeze. And Clyde Love calls it the delayed duck squeeze, and so will I. West is squeezed when you cash your last heart, or last winner of any kind, indeed. A spade gives up the trick immediately. A club lets you duck and win a club. You have to decide which opponent to play for length in spades. Either way, you have to win with the ace. And then cash the hearts. And since we find out West has only 1, he probably has long spades. Yeah, I didn't really think about what would happen if, you know... Hopefully I would have realized, wait a minute, West has 3 hearts and I'm hoping for him to have 4 spades and 4 clubs? That's a little unlikely, isn't it? That would give East 7 diamonds. Hopefully I would have noticed that, but you'll never know. That's it for today's videos. Next time we do an expert video, we should finish off the A's. Exciting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.